Hey guys, Dan here. First off, Happy New Year 2022. Jeez, with all of the craziness going on in the world, I wasn't sure if we would make it this far, right? It's been an intense 2 years, guys, for a lot of us, with what's been going on around the world, with this illness that's just taken the world by storm. It's caused so much heartache and pain in so many different ways for so many different people, financially, mentally, physically. It's just, it's been a devastating 2 years. So guys, we're now in 2022. And I want to ask you guys, what are your goals for this year? Right? I just did a post not long ago about New Year's resolutions, and really I just unpacked the statistics around New Year's resolutions. And guys, honestly, they're not good, right? Like, a massive percentage of people never go on to fulfill their New Year's resolutions, and it's unfortunate. But I want to ask you guys, what are you doing differently this time, right? We've had a 2 year period like we've never seen before, right? In any of our lifetimes, even the oldest among us, okay? We've been through hell and back. Many people have lost their jobs. There's no more security. There's no more job security. There's no more freedom of choice. There's no more walking out in the street knowing that you're going to be safe. It's just everything has turned on its head. So what are you guys going to do differently? Now is really the first opportunity that you've really had in your life, gone up against a massive hardship, almost like a wartime hardship, right? And you've now seen what can happen. A lot of people fall into the comfortability of their job and their routine and their normal 9 to 5. They pay their bills and they get on with life. They party on weekends and they live for weekends, right? And for the longest time, that has been absolutely fine for most people. But with what's happened, a lot of those people have lost their jobs. There's a lot of people out there that don't have an income now. And it's just, there's a lot, right? There's a lot that's going on. I don't really want to touch on all that painful stuff, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So now is your true chance this year, right now, to, if you've made a New Year's resolution, for example, to free yourself from your 9 to 5, to never go through the heartache of having to make a choice between your health and your job again, and all of the things that we've come up against lately. If your New Year's resolution is that, then what are you going to do differently this year? I know you've got more motivation in you now, because we all do. After what we've been through, guys, we all have more motivation in us. And I know some parts of the world aren't as touched as others. In Australia here, it's been hard, with the most lockdown country in the world. And it's been difficult, and a lot of people around me have hurt a hell of a lot, right? So I see the effects on all different scales and different levels of what's happened. So just like I asked them, what are they going to do differently this year? Because you still have the power. Don't ever think because they took your job or they took this or they took that you don't have the power. You do. If you've got access to the internet, you've got the power. You just need to make the right choices and the right decisions to go and take that power, so you're never in that predicament again, right? I lost a few $100,000 when COVID hit and the lockdowns first came, and it was a devastating blow, and it would have probably ruined me if I didn't have my publishing business and all these other things and assets set up in the background that pay me passively, right? So I was actually able to pretty much thrive throughout this whole thing financially. It was different mentally, not being able to go out. I'm a very outdoorsy person. And we still got to go out, but you had to break the law to leave your house, So it made regular, everyday, law-abiding citizens law breakers, and it still is. So I'll never understand, the politics behind that. I understand it, but I'll never agree with it. But anyway, guys, getting off topic a little bit here. What is your New Year's resolution? What are you going to do differently? Do you have more motivation, right? If you need help, we can do that for you. I think most people, are just even entering into the online space. They've thought about it, but they have been in that comfortability circle, right? That running treadmill of the 9 to 5, the rat race, we call it, right? And they just don't really know where to start. So even if you do know where to start, it's always a great idea to get help. If not from me and my team, right? From somebody, but from somebody that you can trust. You need to be able to cut through the thick crap. That, there's a crust of crap that overlays the internet, but if you dig deep enough, you find gold. The real people that really care, that really want to help and can help. That is the main thing, guys. They can help you to succeed financially, to succeed. What I do is more than just financial, because I just call it a freedom business, because that's what it is. It requires a good 6 to 9 months, maybe even a year and a half, right? Depending on your ability to execute, to be able to get that freedom. But what is a year and a half of your life compared to 75 years of slave labor in a 9 to 5? And you feel like you've got security in your job, and then something like the last 2 years comes along and just takes it all from you in an instant, right? They hold it over your head, dangling your livelihood in front of you. No. We can't ever allow this to be our position again, guys. And this was not my position, right? I'm not going to go into the politics of it all, but no one hung anything over my head throughout this entire thing. Maybe the law a little bit. You can't go out, can't leave your house without a mask, can't even walk around outside without a mask, all of this stuff, right? They held the law over me a little bit, but nobody could twist my arm through this. Why? Because I make my own income. I make my own passive income. I don't even make it in the country that I live in, right? I make it all around the world, mostly in the US. So guys, it is a freedom business. And by by all descriptions of the word freedom, when everybody else was being forced and having their arms twisted, including in my family, my partner, with her job and mandates and all of this stuff, right? I was able to stand tall because they couldn't take anything from me. What can they take? Well, they don't own any of it. I don't rely on anybody but me. I pay the bills, right? I pay the wages, and I will never mandate anything onto my staff. Everybody has personal choice. But the thing is, guys, if you don't put yourself in that sort of position, you are vulnerable. So what are you going to do differently? I ask you again, what are you going to do differently this year so you're never vulnerable ever again in your life? Financially, mentally, physically, nobody can hold anything over you, dangle your livelihood in front of you and say comply, otherwise it's all gone, right? I was just reading a story this morning about a young man who was a basketball prodigy, and now they've just taken everything away from him. This sort of young man needs to start doing an online business like what we're doing, right? Obviously, that's not what he loves. But after going through that sort of hardship, having your future stolen from you by other people, other human beings dictating what they think is best for you, well then, I think it's time that we took our power back, guys. Don't you agree? Wouldn't you agree on that? Isn't it time that we took our power back? We are individuals, right? We don't need to be ruled by the masses. And as entrepreneurs, we stand out above all of that. We choose to live outside of the system. We walk the line of the system. We pay our taxes. We do what needs to be done. But we choose a life of as much freedom as possible. So, guys, a lot of you haven't achieved that freedom yet. You haven't been able to taste that type of freedom. You still have your livelihood dangled in front of you. You still have people, other companies, governments controlling your future. And they can swipe it from you in an instant, right? In an instant. So what are you going to do differently this year, guys? Answer it in the comments. What are you going to do differently this year? So never again do you find yourself in a situation where other people control your destiny, right? Your destiny is for you. You have but one life. You have but one life, and you need to dictate what happens in that life. It's yours, nobody else's, right? 2022 could be your freedom year. Are you prepared to work hard for this entire year to gain that type of success? When I say the word success, guys, it's success in all of its magnificence. Right? It's success in all of its glory. I'm not talking just about having extra money in the bank, disposable income over here, things like that. I'm talking about that on top of personal freedom. Right? Personal freedom to me is more important than anything today. I've achieved financial freedom. And when you do, personal freedom and the personal freedom of others becomes your main goal, right? And that's my goal now. This is literally what I do. I am here existing inside of this video to ensure that I can free as many people financially and personally as possible. That has become my mission since I became financially free, right? Including myself. I don't feel personally free in this country anymore in Australia. And I'm going to be looking at moving my family to somewhere else in the world. But I can do that where a lot of other people can't, because I have spent years building passive assets that pay me consistently, whether the government likes it or not, whether any workplace boss likes it or not. I get paid, whether there's a pandemic or not. You can achieve that too, but you need to be willing to work for it. You need to be willing to take the risks, to take the gamble, to believe in somebody enough to ask them for help, right? So guys, this year, I want it to be differently for you. I want it to go way differently for as many people who trust in me and my organization to help them as possible. So if you want to get some more information or jump on a call and have a chat with me about what we do, then just drop a comment below, guys, and I'll reach out to you. It's not a sales call. It's nothing insidious at all. It's just a conversation, just like what I'm having here with this camera in this video right now. I feel like I'm talking through this to you guys, right? And this is the same way that I talk when we jump on these calls. I'm not there to use mind tricks and things like that. I don't care, if I make a sale or not. As I said, my mission is more to help as many people feel that freedom that I feel, right? And it's an ongoing battle. Like I just said, I don't feel personally free in this country anymore. Like, I went to a beach yesterday and I saw this sign and it said, "You are under video surveillance. If you pass this fence onto that sand, then the penalties apply, heavy penalties. Know this, know that, know this." It's just an illusion, right? Freedom is an illusion. There's such control in every aspect of our life. Even if I walk outside right now and I actually walk on the road, that's against the law and I can be fined for it. So personal freedom, once you've achieved financial freedom, personal freedom becomes extremely important, and it always should be, but it's not at the forefront of everyone's minds, because we're struggling through the rat race every single day. We're struggling. How can I pay the bills? How can I pay that? We don't stop to question, what about our personal freedom? Because we're just too distracted by the system, right? As entrepreneurs, we put ourselves outside of that system. But first you need to achieve financial freedom, and you can do that through public domain publishing. So if you want some help, guys, comment below and I'll reach out to you. I want to see you guys succeed this year. I truly do. I truly do, from the bottom of my heart. Anybody who comes and trusts in me and my organization to help them achieve that, I'm going to work my hands to the bone to get them there. You can ask my students, guys. We don't quit. All right, guys, I'll talk to you all soon. You have a great day. Happy New Year. And let's do it differently this time.